Need yours?
If you guys saw the last video, you know that Frisco and Nigel are now at our new house in Colorado.
Good boy.
I've got 2 days here to do a few chores around the place to get ready for the rest of the horses to come down. But then after that, I'm heading back up into Montana to clean out the rest of the barn and our house, and then heading right back down with the remaining horses. Huckleberry is settling in really well at the new house. In fact, he's been ranching so hard, he ripped off one of his toenails the other day, so he's got a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up. While I'm really excited to be down here with the old boys, I do have to really hustle if I want to get the fence fixed for the other horses.
Frisco bale.
I know a few of you guys are probably not going to understand this, but the easiest way to avoid a giant vet bill is to make sure everything is as safe as possible for the horses. I've seen too many catastrophic accidents with barbed wire to leave this up, so I will be taking down this whole entire fence and replacing it with something that is more horse safe. I was a little bit sad taking down this fence. It was really well built and I don't think they put it up too long ago, but this is our house now, so I'm gonna make it as nice as possible for the horses. While you can use some types of welded wire fence for horses, this stuff, the holes are way too big. I think I'm going to be able to finish before the other horses get down, but I was getting pretty distracted checking out all of the new neighbors. I saw this super cute little woodpecker. I'm pretty sure he was stuffing acorns in this tree for the winter. The new property has a perimeter fence all the way around that is basically the same as this fence that I'm taking down. It does have barbed wire and a type of welded mesh wire. A handful of the horses I have right now could probably go out on this fence and be totally fine. But with the extra stress of traveling for so long and the fact that all of the boys are going to be sharing their dry lot, I do not want any accidents. It will cost me less money to replace all of this fencing than it will to haul one of the horses to the vet with a laceration from barbed wire. Today I got pretty far along in my project. Because the ponies are going to be here while I'm back up in Montana, I am having my mom come out to help me, while my husband and I are making trips back and forth between the two houses. She is going to be here, keeping a very close eye on Nigel and Frisco. I was really hoping that I get the new fence up by the time she got here, but I have to head to the airport and pick her up. While I do really appreciate the help, fence building is something that I've been doing for a very long time, and I think it may have been faster if I did it myself.
Yeah, well, it was pretty good.
We got new dry lots situated for both the boys, and then Scarlet, Ziggy, and Prim are going to be separate. I ended up leaving a little bit later than I had anticipated, so I'm about a day behind at this point. On my drive back up to Montana, I found the coolest rest stop. I've already done 2 trips down and back to the new house, and it really is starting to wear on my body a little bit. You guys know I've had a lot of trouble with my neck and back this year, and I took a lot of time off from riding and doing too much training with the horses to help make it recover a bit faster. This drive is supposed to be about 11 and a half to 12 hours, but I've been stopping about every 2 hours or so to get out and walk around and stretch. Usually I'm confined to walking a few laps around the parking lot, but I was really enjoying all of these native plants that they have out here. It was certainly a welcome change of pace right after I got done driving back through Salt Lake City. I made it back to Montana just in time to finish scraping out all of the pens and stripping the stalls in the barn. All of the panels have been sold, which I'm really excited about. As the sun was going down, I was getting pretty worried because I did think that I had most of the stuff moved out of the barn, but after moving everything into the aisle, it is pretty apparent that I still have a lot of stuff I need to pack. I only had one more full day to take care of everything I needed to at the barn. When the hauler arrived, I had so much more to do. The four-wheeler and my old truck sold for more money than I actually paid for them. This is a great start to my new tractor fund. I worked well into the night, probably far past when I should have been awake. Unfortunately, I just was not going to fit everything in the hauler's trailer or my truck, so I had to leave some stuff behind. In a few hours, I would be back here to get the horses loaded up and head on down to our new house.
Go, girl. Hey. Oh, fucking A. Freaking rock star, girl. Come on, Stewie.
My hauler was nice enough to leave her trailer at my place overnight, so I actually had half of the horses loaded up and ready to go before she even got here this morning. We should be right on time to leave at around 4:30 a.m. All of the horses loaded up really well, even Scarlet and Goose. The only little problem we had was with Pete and Gus. They were the last two to get on the trailer, and for some reason they decided they did not want to get caught. It took me about 10 minutes to convince Pete that we were going to be going on a super fun road trip, and finally he allowed me to put his halter on. While the horses are heading down to the new place, I am going to be hauling the flatbed with the manure spreader on it. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty exhausted because I did not get very much sleep, but it is kind of nice to leave in the dark and then experience the sunrise and go through lunch and then arrive at the new place around dinner time. I thought for sure that I would beat the hauler down there. I was going on a little bit of a shorter route through the mountains. Unfortunately, on this trip, I think all of the traveling and driving has finally taken its toll. I was having a lot of trouble with my leg and hip, so every time I was starting to feel too much pain, I would stop and walk around for a while. This ended up putting me about an hour behind the hauler. She is a total rock star, and all of the horses were unloaded and settling by the time I got there.
Boys? Good boys? Good boys? Long ride today. Hey, Stewie. Hey, Stewie.
I am so grateful that the hauler is not only a really good transport, she is a horsewoman as well, and she had no trouble unloading any of the horses. My mom was very impressed when she unloaded 3 at a time and walked them to their new paddocks without any trouble at all. They got free choice hay on the trailer, water breaks, they got electrolytes, and also sucralfate to prevent ulcers.
Lucy, you all right?
These horses have been unloaded for about 15 minutes, and I think they are walking a bit better than I am at this point. I noticed Scarlet and Prim were a little stiff, but it was a very long ride for 2 horses that have not traveled very much. All in all, I am really happy with how these horses traveled and are settling into the new place. Even though all of the horses are now at the new house, believe it or not, there is still stuff back in Montana that I need to go pick up. I'm not sure exactly what I did to my hip, but it is really painful, pretty hard to walk. I think I may have pinched a nerve. My plan was to head back up to Montana pretty quickly, but it looks like I'm gonna have to take some forced time off from driving. My mom is staying for a few more days, so we took some time to explore the property a little bit. Found this really cool vintage milk of magnesia bottle. While it was a really cool find, I'm kind of bummed that there is so much trash and metal out here in the horse pastures. With all of this debris in one of the areas I had planned for the horses, it is going to take quite a while to pick up. I forced myself to go on some walks in the morning to stretch out my old bones.
I don't think this is the right way to go. We gotta get out of here.
While exploring a part of the property, we did find evidence of a lot of wildlife. With all of the barbed wire from the fence going in a big dumpster, I decided to tackle a huge pile of miscellaneous wood that was left on the property. This is something that I definitely didn't have to do right away, but I paid for a huge dumpster, so when it leaves here, it is going to be as full as I can stuff it. This old boneyard had a lot of wood that was unusable, so it's best just to get rid of it while I can. This property has a lot of natural cover for wildlife, so I think I'm going to end up seeing a lot more than we did at the Montana place. Ziggy, Scarlet, and Prim are in their own dry lot. I actually went out and bought some panels for them just to make sure Scarlet was safe. I went through all the miscellaneous wood that they had here and took out all of the pieces that were still usable. I have kind of a plan in my head how I want to keep the horses, but for now we are just going to do the easiest way possible. The pastures have definitely been overgrazed and not maintained for quite a while, so that is something that is going to have to be fixed. Thankfully, I was able to fit all of the random wood and metal that I could find into the dumpster. I was really hoping once I got this all cleaned up, there would be a really nice spot to put Frisco and Nigel, but I think I'm going to have to hold off because of the amount of metal I've been finding. It does look like the previous owners just turned all of their animals out in one gigantic pasture, and I really would like to start some type of regenerative grazing with the horses. The land definitely needs it, but for now I'm gonna have to go find some hay for these animals. I really cut it close with the amount of hay I brought for the boys. I only brought 6 bales of hay, which is enough for 3 days, so I really had to hustle in order to buy them food. I definitely lucked out. The first person I called had a bunch of different options for hay. These bales are still pretty big, but they are smaller than the ones I get in Montana. After 2 days on the property, it looks like all of the boys are settling in quite well. One of the coolest things that we have here is a bunch of apple trees. Normally, I don't give my horses apples because they're pretty darn expensive and they go bad very quickly. Stewie has a real sweet tooth and he loves apples, so being able to cut up a few that they've got growing right outside of their new dry lot and give them snacks every once in a while is a definite bonus. A few of the horses are not nearly quick enough to swoop in and get snacks before Stewie takes them. We are getting here at the perfect time of year to have a good harvest of apples, although some of them do have a bit of wormy spots in them, and I've noticed a ton of deer coming through here in the evening. I'm really happy that all of the horses look like they're staying hydrated. They are drinking a ton of water.
Stewie.
There are a few horses that I worried about on the long trip. Big Gus because he has PSSM, and then a few of the older ones just because it is a long trip for an old horse.
Oh, Pete. Stewie.
To clean up the property, I did rent a skid steer, which worked perfectly for moving all of my hay bales into the little run-in shed that we have. Compared to Montana, the hay is a bit more expensive, but it should be so much easier for me to handle. I won't have to buy as big of a tractor when I get one. It also sounded like they may have hay available all year round. This first load of hay, I got 4 bales of straight orchard grass, and then I got 2 bales of straight alfalfa, which looks really, really good. Since all of the horses are on all hay right now, it'll be easy for me to feed these 6 bales and figure out kind of what my hay needs are going to be for the winter. I know a lot of you guys have been wondering about Tiny. She was having a really hard time adjusting until she figured out how to get into the crawl space. She has been making sure everything is up to snuff down here. Since my equipment sold so well at auction, I decided it was time for an upgrade. When I bought the Gator last year, there was another piece of equipment that I really thought would do a better job for me. They were having some crazy good deals and I went just to check it out, but I ended up getting 2 new machines for the new property. While I didn't buy them specifically for Huckleberry, he was very excited when I got home with them.
Hold on, buddy. Wait a second, buddy.
I'm pretty grateful that I was able to sell so much stuff in Montana. It also really helps that you guys are always tuning in to see what I'm up to with Huckleberry, Tiny, and all of the horses. I've had a lot of fun sharing my adventures with you over the last couple of years, but I think the best is yet to come.
Hey, buddy. Boy. I see you, Stewie.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.